What is up, YouTube? This is Chris, Young Professional Dad, and I'm back with another knife video. I absolutely love making these videos. I love talking about knives. It gives me a chance to engage with you guys, talk about these awesome things, get some conversation back and forth, hear about knives that I'm not familiar with, and all together we can grow and learn. I did a video, my top 10 knives for EDC without a budget. I had fun making that video. But now I'm going to have even more fun. These are my top 10 knives that are just my favorite knives. Not for EDC, not for any purpose. I just love them. Now again, this is no budget limit. Because of that, there's not going to be a whole lot of premium, premiums. They're all premium. There's not going to be a bunch of budget knives in this list. There's actually no budget knives in this list. I'll do another video of my top 10 budget knife favorites. But this is my favorite knives, hands down, my top 10. I'm going to have a few honorable mentions there at the end, but these are my 10 favorite knives. Now, before I show you anything, I want to do a caveat. When I done my 10 EDC knives, there were some knives that people mentioned that I didn't list. The Sebenza, the Umnumzaan, different things like that, some different Spydercos, a Rosie. First of all, I've never even seen a Rosie. I've heard of this knife Rosie several times, but I'm brand new to knife collecting. I tell you all that all the time. I wear it on my sleeve. I wear it, I own it, it is what it is. I don't know what the Rosie is. I've looked it up now, I'm familiar with it. The Roosevelt or something like that. I do not have one. I wish I did. I'll remedy that problem as soon as I can, but apparently they're pretty hard to get. I do know somebody that's got two that talked about putting them on blade bench. I'm just saying, you might want to send a friend an email. You know what I'm saying? We might be able to work something out. That's neither here nor there. But here's the thing. The reason that I did not put the knives on there that I do have that wasn't listed is because of this. I wanted that video to be authentic. Knives that were actually used for EDC that I thought were the best. And if it was a knife like an Umnumzaan that is on this list, I didn't list it in that video. And the reason why is because I don't carry it and use it that much. Number one, because of the price. I don't want to mess it up. Number two, because, I haven't had it long enough to really get some real EDC time with it to know how great it is. I know it's great. I hear about it and stuff, and I'm in love with the knife, but I didn't have a lot of experience with it. I haven't owned it long enough. And if I had listed that video or that knife in that video, it would have been 100% to show off, and it would not have been authentic to the purpose of the video, which was my 10 best knives for EDC. I wanted to only list knives that I had experience with, that I knew how good they were for EDC and stuff like that. It did not mean that I did not think those other knives were great for EDC. Hopefully you understand where I'm going with that. Now, these are just my 10 favorite knives. Let's get started. Number one, let's kick this thing off with the bang. Since it was one of the most requested knives from that video that wasn't listed, here you guys go. It is the Chris Reeve Sebenza. I absolutely love this knife. I've told this story many times. When I was collecting, when I first started collecting, my first year, 2 years, I was starting to learn. I was learning a lot about knives. Well, not compared to most of you guys. I still don't know very much, but I know a little bit. But I did learn one thing, and that was the Sebenza was the cream of the crop, and it rises to the top. And these things were awesome, and everything I saw about them was fantastic, and I wanted one. All I knew was that I wanted one. I wanted a Sebenza and a Chaves. I've told it a million times. I wanted a Chaves. I love Chaves. I love that pocket clip. I love the look. I love the name. I loved everything about Chaves. I wanted a Chaves and I wanted a Sebenza. And when I had the money to get a Sebenza and a Chaves, the large Sebenzas were sold out. The only ones they had available was this one. It's the small 31 Sebenza Forever flag. Titanium handles, Magna Cut blade, a single thumb stud. It is a frame lock. Lanyard. Let me tell you. It's a small, but it's fidgety. Actually, I won't really say it's fidgety. That's wrong. It's just got good action. Great action. Pops right into place. You know, it did have a break-in. It did have a break-in, I'll be honest, which most knives do. Spyderco's, different things like that. This had a break-in, but feels great in the hand. I can only imagine if a small is this nice, how much I'm going to love the large when I get one. And oh, I promise you, I will get one. When? I don't know. I got a lot of knives I'm wanting to get, but I will have a large Sebenza before it's over. But the small Sebenza in titanium, forever flag, one of my 10 favorite knives, hands down, no question. And anybody that knows me knows that I am 100% a patriot. I love this country, I love the military, and I love Old Glory. So the fact that this has Old Glory on the handle, just, I mean, it speaks to me. I love this knife. The Chris Reeve Sebenza Small 31. Now, I mentioned the two knives that I wanted was a Sebenza and a Chaves. I got the Sebenza. Now let's look at the Chaves. Boom. This is the Chaves Scapegoat Street. This thing, oh gosh. Now this is not the Chaves that I got first. First I got this Chaves Liberation. But this came along soon after. I was looking at it, I wanted to get it, and then a viewer, Philippians, actually recommended that he had one of these, and he's like, look, you got to get the Scapegoat Street. You're going to love this thing. It's fantastic. I got it. Oh, let me tell you, love this thing is not the word. Full titanium handles, another frame lock. It's got the Chaves pocket clip that I absolutely love. Now, I understand that your Chaves pocket clip is one of those things. You either love it or hate it. And some people hate it. Most people love it. I absolutely love it. To me, it's like buying a Mercedes and not having the emblem on the front. Or a Cadillac with no Cadillac emblem. I mean, this is the emblem of Chaves. Now, I understand why people don't like it. Because we all have preferences and stuff. And some people, just the idea of a skull isn't up their alley. I think it's not about the skull, it's about the emblem of what this knife is. It's their signature almost, and I love it. Now, it does come with an extra pocket clip that you can trade out, put on this, take this one off and put the other one on. That's just a plain titanium pocket clip. Excellent action. I love the blade shape. Listen, this is one of the things that makes this knife so great. You hear that close? Oh. Hold on. Oh, that close. Oh, that close is so satisfying. This thing is definitely one of my 10 favorite knives. I love this thing. Good finger choil. It's even for big hands like mine. I can choke up on it. There's no jimping on top or anything like that. I like the blade shape. It's aggressive. It's a cutter. I mean, this thing is nice. This is a great knife. That is one of my 10. Oh, by the way, these are in no particular order. Absolutely no particular order. None. In fact, my favorite knife is somewhere in the middle, and it is my favorite knife that I own, hands down. Now, this next knife, I love this knife. I've got a history with this knife. Me and this knife have a love story. I'm telling you. I've said this a million times about this knife in my videos, and I'll say it again. I have more pocket time with this one knife than if you take any 3 or 4 knives that I have, combine them together, they would not still have the pocket time that this one knife has. And it is the Cold Steel AD10. This is the only one where you're really going to see the blade is dirty and beat up. This thing, I mean, it's still razor sharp. I take care of the edge well. This is S35VN. It's got the triad lock. It comes with an extra pocket clips because it is reversible, but this pocket clip won't switch to the other side because of the way that it's made. So it actually has one for this side and one for this side. So it's a reversible pocket clip, dual thumb studs. This thing is a massive, gigantic knife, even for big hands. Listen. Probably This thing fits my hand better than any knife I've ever held. Any knife except for one, and that is the Spartan Blades Astor. This thing fits my hand almost as good as this one does. I had never felt a knife that felt as good in the hand as this one until I felt the Astor, and this thing is phenomenal as well. But this knife, the 8010 and S35VN, now I do want the 3V version with the titanium handles. I want that thing so bad. I would put getting that knife over any other knife that I'm looking for or that I want to get. If I could get that knife, I'll wait on everything else. I want the Cold Steel 8010 in 3V and titanium handles. Gosh almighty, do I want that knife. I love this thing. It's fantastic. Now, the next knife, another, oh my gosh, this knife is just so amazing. I've got a lot of Spydercos, but I don't love any of them as much as I do the Shaman. I mean, there you go. There you go. The Shaman is fantastic. Now, I do have one that I love as much as this one for other reasons, and it's more sentimental, and that is a Spyderco Police early model that was sent to me by a viewer. I am in love with that thing. The size of it, the look of it, everything about it, the history of it. The fact that a viewer gave it to me. I love that knife. Love it, but on a different type of level. For just loving a knife for being the knife, the Shaman right here, oh my gosh, this is it. I mean, I love the Mannix 2 for EDC. I love the PM2 for EDC and tactical stuff, you know, the look of it. There's several different, the Military 2 and 15V, just got it in, you know, a sprint run. It's my only sprint run knife that I have. I love that knife. But just loving a knife for loving a knife, this Shaman right here is it. XHP steel, which I like XHP steel. This Astor right here is in XHP steel, and it does me really well. It's got the 4-position pocket clip. It's got an excellent blade shape that I like. Somebody mentioned in the comments today that they just don't like something about this blade shape. I completely understand, and I get it. I really do. And I value the different opinions. I think that's what makes this hobby so great, is that we do like different things. It would be boring if we all like the same stuff. Let's discuss what we like different about them, and you like yours, I like mine. We talk about them, we share, that's what makes it fun. It's like trading ball cards as a kid. I like my players, you like your players. You got cards I don't, I got cards you don't. Let's swap them out. It is what it is. But I'll tell you what I love about Spyderco. Not only the fact that they're American made, not only the heat treat, the quality, everything else, not the look, not the ergonomics, but the daggone compression lock. I love the compression lock so much. I mean, that is hands down my favorite. They're laughing, sorry guys. It is my favorite lock on a knife. Now the Triad lock is the most secure and safe in my opinion. It's the safest. But right there, the compression lock is my favorite. For fidget factor, for all around safety, for, you know, just everything it stands for. Plus, I might just be a little biased because it's Spyderco, you know, and those who know carry Spyderco. It is what it is. So that might make me like that lock a little bit more. I just love the compression lock, and I love the Shaman. This thing is fantastic, and I want another knife that I want. I'm just going to ramble on about knives that I want in this video. This is more about knives that I want than knives that I have. Don't get me wrong. I'm very appreciative of the knives that I have. But you know, in this hobby, we always want that next one. We always want the next one. We're only as good as the next knife we're getting. And I tell you right now, a Spyderco Shaman in 15V is one of my grill knives. No question. Oh my gosh, I want one so bad I can, it drives me crazy. Next knife, This is my favorite knife that I own. I thought about putting it at the very end, but I didn't want to do that. I'm just going to show it right now. This is by far light years ahead of any other knife that I have. I mean, I like all these knives. I like them all a lot. But there's just something about this one. It's on another level for me. And that is the Protech Mordax. Oh my gosh. This thing, it feels excellent in the hand. It's got a good finger control to choke up. It's a button lock. It is fidgety as all get out. It's S45 VM blade steel. Now this one is the Blade HQ exclusive. I can't remember what these sell for, but they're a lot, and they always are sold out. These are so hard to get right now. At least the last many times that I've looked at them, because I'm trying to get one for my oldest son. He loves this knife as well. It's the knife he picked out. I did not tell him it was my favorite knife. He was just looking on camera at my knives, and he was like, hey, go back to that knife. And he pointed out, and he's like, what is that? That one, I'm in love with that knife. And I was like, what a coincidence, son. That's my favorite knife. It's a Protech Mordax. So I'm trying to get this exact one. He don't want the other Mordaxes. He wants this one, the all black Protech Mordax Blade HQ exclusive. So if anybody knows where one is, Blade Binge, online anywhere, if you can come across one, let me know. I'd love to find one. So absolutely. Or if you see when they come back in stock, I would absolutely love one. This is a fantastic knife. The Protech Mordax Blade HQ exclusive. Oh my gosh, this knife is awesome. I've carried this knife a lot. Let me tell you, this is definitely deep carry pocket clip. It's not reversible. It's right hand only. It's only tip up. It's got, cool spacer. It's just all the way around. I mean, this knife is just, this thing just talks to me. I love this knife. I love this knife so much. This next knife, it's actually funny because there's a movie called this, and when I first saw this knife and I fell in love with the look of it, I didn't know whether I wanted to order it just because of the name. Seriously, I didn't know if I wanted to get this just because of the name. And it is the Kunwu Django. And I'm so glad that I did, because this is far and away one of my favorite knives that I've ever seen. This thing is a work of art. It is so well built and made. Kunwu makes fantastic stuff. I got some other Kunwu back here. I want the Padre next. The Chad. There's just all kinds of Kunwu that I want. There's just all kinds of knives that I want. It's a crossbar lock. It's got good jimping on top. I like this Bowie style blade. I like the milled pocket clip. It is reversible, the pocket clip is, so it's left hand or right hand, full titanium, and it's the orange peel texture. So it's not quite smooth. It's got that feeling of like an orange peel where you can feel the bumpiness of it. Not bumpiness, but it's not quite smooth, if you know what I mean. Excellent knife. I love the Elmax steel. It looks beautiful. I like the fullers, or blood grooves as I call them. Absolutely just a beautiful, beautiful knife. Feels good in the hand. You can choke up however you want. Get a good grip. The clip point blade is just gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't have a thumb flipper. It doesn't have thumb studs. It has a thumb hole. So you either have to use the crossbar lock to open it, or you use the thumb hole. And sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. Depends on how much my hands are hurting that day, but I love this knife. The Kunwu Django. I've got other Kunwu, and this one by far and away is my favorite. It's not a cheap knife, but it's worth every penny. Fantastic knife. Kunwu Django. What a beautiful work of art. This next knife was in last night's video. I'm going to show this, and then before I get to the last three, I'm going to show my three alternates. My three, not alternates, but honorable mentions. This is, I very well could have put this at the very end because I love it that much. And it is the Quiet Carry Drift LCT. Hands down. Hands down. I'm going to tell you right now. This thing is so sweet that I only carried this for 3 or 4 days, and I immediately knew how good it was for EDC. I didn't even have to carry it often or a lot. In just a short period of time, I knew all I needed to know. The action is phenomenal. The hydraulic closing, the thumb hole, it doesn't have a thumb studs, it doesn't have a flipper, it's just got the thumb hole, it's got the milled pocket clip that's reversible left hand or right hand, it's got the textured titanium. I can't remember what grade the titanium it is, but it's a really good grade. It's got the LC200 lock pin, so it's corrosion resistant even for the lock. This is a full-on corrosion resistant knife. Van X super clean blade steel. This thing is, I used to say all the time that the line steel Mito was the best built knife that I have. Not that it was my favorite or anything like that, but just the way that it was put together, the engineering, the quality, you could just feel it when you hold it in your hand. It's just the best made knife that I had. I used to say that all the time. Not anymore. This right here, I think, in my opinion, is the best all-around made knife that I have, in my opinion. Now, I know different people are going to say different things and probably disagree with me because of some of the knives on this table. But in my opinion, in my hands, the way that this feels, it feels so nice. Louis the Knife Addict, he recommended this, and man, let me tell you, no truer words have ever been spoken. He told me, he said, when you get that, you're going to understand. He said, it's going to change everything for you. It's going to take your knife collecting to a whole new level. You're going to be in a new ball game, buddy. And let me tell you, Louis the Knife Addict, true words have never been spoken. I love this thing. I'm in love with it. Thank you so much. Ken Faulkner, I learned so much from you. You've had some excellent suggestions. You've helped me with some other ideas on a personal level with some choices I was trying to make. I always appreciate it. Louis the Knife Addict, you've had some good recommendations and told me about some knives like this one right here. I appreciate it. EDC Reviewer, I learned so much from you. It's crazy how much I learned from you. Master Sergeant, you're cracking me up. The stuff you say, you keep me entertained. Zach, none for now. I mean, Rob, it's been awesome meeting you. Dean, Blake, I mean, it goes on and on and on. I could go on and on and on forever. You guys have been great. You all are what makes this experience fun. The knives are what it's about, but you guys in the relationships, because I'm going to be collecting knives whether I was doing a channel or not, but I wouldn't have met friends like you guys. So you all are what makes this experience what it is. So thank you. All right, here is my three alternates. Not really alternates, but my three honorable mentions. The very first one, I love this knife. I literally thought about like taking one of these knives on the table and booting it and putting this knife in because I love it that much. There's only one reason why I didn't, and it is the Jack Wolf Little Bro slip joint knife with Nebula Fat Carbon, titanium bolsters, Bowler M390 blade steel. This knife, another one that is a work of art. Look at that Nebula Fat Carbon. Look at that glistening. Ooh, let me just tell you right now, I want more Jack Wolves. I'm telling you right now, I want some more Jack Wolves. Speaking of which, our good friend Ken Faulkner is at Texas Blade Show looking for a Jack Wolf knife for himself. Good luck, Ken. I hope that you have a blast at the Texas Blade Show. I hope that you get all the knives that you want. I hope that you have a ton of fun, meet a lot of good people, see a lot of cool knives, and just enjoy the experience, buddy. You deserve it, and I'm absolutely ecstatic for you. And I can't wait for Atlanta, because in Atlanta, we're going to meet up, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. You and your significant other, Louie. Oh, we're gonna have a good time, guys. We're gonna be looking at some knives together very soon. But this knife right here, fantastic. I'm telling you right now, this thing. The reason that I didn't put this in the top list is because I'm not a slip joint guy. I'm just not a slip joint guy. I have some. I like them. I love the look of this. I love the feel of this. I love the leather sheath that it comes, or not sheath, but little slip that it comes. You can put it in, drop it down in your pocket. I love the presentation, the can that Jack Wolf comes in, the way that they do that whole thing. I love presentation. I talk about it all the time to you guys about how presentation matters so much for me. It's all the entire experience. But this is not a knife that I would carry for EDC purposes on a day-to-day basis and actually get a whole lot of use out of. This is a knife that I would carry to church, to formal functions, things like that. It is a knife that I get out and I look at because it's beautiful. Yes, this knife can handle anything you put it through. It is built to work. It's just not the type of knife that I would use to work with. It doesn't have a lock, so you can bend it and close it on your fingers and stuff, and I just don't want to risk that and do that. So I look at it, mess with it a little bit, you know, appreciate what it is and how great it is, and I do want more Jack Wolfs. The next knife is actually a while ago I said the Mito was the best made knife. I actually used to say two of them. They're both Italian made because the other one is the MKM Hero. This is a massive, massive, massive lockback knife. Absolutely fantastic. Titanium bolsters, a textured handle material here. I can't remember what it's called. Bowler M390 blade steel. It's a lockback, so it's very safe and secure. Excellent jimping on the top there. Dual thumb studs. This thing is heavy. It's bulky. It's big. A massive blade. This would be perfect for EDC, the blade shape, if it was not a lockback. I'm just, you know, lockbacks, traditionals. I'm just great action on this thing. I love the size. I love the weight. I love the look of this knife. Oh my gosh, I love this knife so much. This is another knife that I just have in my collection to have it because I love it so daggone much. The MKM Hero, what a fantastic knife. Now, this is not a cheap knife. I think they're $289 for this version, and it's absolutely worth every single penny. What a great knife, the MKM Hero. And the last one that gets an honorable mention is my new McNeese, the PM Mac 2. I really like this thing. I love it a lot. It's got good jimping on top. It's got dual thumb studs that are more barrels than studs. I like the waved pattern titanium frame lock, you know, a pocket clip. I like the fact that you can change these out with like Hinderer pocket clips. That's really cool. I like that a lot. It makes it easier to get, you know, parts for it and stuff, and pocket clips, and change them out and do different things like that. Excellent action. I'm getting better at opening this thing. I struggled in the beginning. It's a right-handed knife. I cannot open it in my right hand very well because I put too much I can't do it in my right hand. I put too much pressure on the lock. So I have to do it in the left hand, and it opens right up for me, no problem. I love that acid look of the blade. Magna cut blade. This thing is fantastic. It's not cheap. When I got this before I got the Quiet Carry and before I got the Umnumzaan. And at the time, I thought that this was the nicest knife that I had. But now I've got some more. and it's fallen down the list. This would be in my top 10. Hands down, no question, if I could open it with both hands. But the fact that I struggle right-handed opening this thing, it's in the right hand position and I can't hold it with my right hand or open it with my right hand. I just can't do it. That frame lock, it's too hard. I can open it easy with my left hand. Great action. I love that look. I love the acid washed blade. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this thing. Fantastic knife. They're around $500 or so and worth every daggone penny. If you have smaller hands or if you have more dexterity in your fingers and stuff, you're not going to struggle with them like I do. It's all because of my hands, my fingers, and stuff like that. It's not the knife. It's me. And I clarify that all the time. And I've told some people, like somebody told me, he's like, there's a problem. If you have a right-handed knife and you can't open it with your right hand and it costs $500, there's a significant problem there. And I assured him, I was like, buddy, I understand exactly what you're saying. But you know what? It's not the knife's fault. It's my fault. The knife is what it is. It's a knife. It's made the way it's made. I bought it the way it's made. It came the way it's made. It's not the knife's fault. The knife is what the knife is. It ain't going to change. It's the way that it's always been from the day that it was created. If I can't open it, that's on me, not on the knife. So I don't hold it against the knife. But that's my 3 honorable mentions. All right, so now let's get into these. The last 3. These are not in any order or anything like that. None of these are. But here you go. Boom. I love this daggone knife. This is the Zero Tolerance Hinder edition of the 0562 carbon fiber. I love this knife. I love the action. I love the blade shape. I love the titanium frame lock. I love the carbon fiber look. I love that the thumb studs are very, very short. Very short. So you got just enough traction and real estate to get, to open them, but they're not bulky and sticking out and stuff. It's got jimping on top of the blade right there, but just enough. Not very much, just enough. It feels great in the hand. It's got a deep carry pocket clip. It's not reversible. So it's right hand only, tip up. It is what it is. But I want to tell you, it's got the over travel lock so that it protects the frame lock. But this is a fantastic knife. It's in 20 CV. So you're talking titanium, carbon fiber, 20 CV, designed by Hinderer, and it's a Zero Tolerance 0562. What an amazing, amazing knife. I love this thing. I think the last time I looked, they were right around $300. So they are not cheap. They are not cheap at all, but they are fantastic knives. I love this. I love the blade shape. It's an EDC blade shape. It's a fidgety knife. I think that this is a great knife that anybody could use. I think it can take hardcore use, beater use, whatever you want to do to it. I do baby it a lot because of how nice it is and because I do take care of my stuff. And I just don't get the opportunity to use my knives that much. I just don't. I wish I did, but I don't. So it is what it is. But this right here is one of my best top 10 knives. Next, Ken Faulkner. I mean, here you go again. This is another knife because of you. How many is that? The Smock, the Cold Steel Engage, this one, boom, right here. I love my MSI. I talk about my MSI. He had a video where he had this one and the stitch, and then he got the MSI to round out all 3 of them. I had the MSI. I got this one. Now I need to get the stitch to round out all 3 of them. I like the apocalyptic blade style. I have that on the stitch or the MSI. Now I've got it on this one. That ram lock, the action is phenomenal. Oh my gosh, the action's phenomenal. The hand, the way it feels in the hand, the jimping on top of the blade and on top of the handle right here for your little thumb ramps. Fantastic. It's a pocket clip that's not deep carry, but it is reversible, so it's left hand or right hand, and it's tip up. Look at that blade. Look at that blade. I mean, this is like a daggone kukri that you could go out going foraging through the jungle, making paths and stuff, clearing out vegetation, ready to go. I feel like a daggone special forces in the Amazon out there trekking on a, 7-day training expedition, making ways through the forest. I mean, this thing is, I don't know why I just said that long analogy. I have no idea why I said that. It was just way too long and unnecessary. It feels like a kukri. Ultimately, that's where I was going with that. It's a kukri. It's not really, but it feels like it. This knife is amazing. I mean, amazing. I like the shape of it. I like the feel in the hand. It's got the Bowler M390 blade steel. Now, again, I've mentioned this before. Some people tell me that the Bowler M390 blade steel from Microtech tests a little soft. And I say it all the time. I'm never going to use my knives enough to where it will matter to me. I'm just not. I'm not going to put them through enough abuse to where that softness is, according to the Rockwell chart, is ever going to come into play. For me, it's never ever going to be an issue. Never. Now, if you are somebody that's going to beat on your knives and get a lot of use out of them, and you're going to use them in hardcore situations, then it's an issue. Then you need to consider it that it might not be hard enough on the Rockwell chart to stand up to what you're doing using it for. So you might want to go with a different knife with Bowler M390 blade steel that does meet the expectations and the criteria that you need to meet for the Rockwell chart. Like I said, for general lightweight EDC and general use and normal wear and tear, it's never going to be an issue. For the average person's never going to notice a difference or experience anything. It is what it is. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a fantastic knife. This is one of my favorite knives, and I am in love with it. All right, guys. All of you all know what knife is coming. You do. You watch my videos. You know what knife I haven't shown. I said that this was my favorite knives. You know what knife I'm not showing yet. I just got it. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's the grail of all grails. I just want to sit here in anticipation for a while. Make the people that don't watch my videos go back and watch the other ones so they'll know what ones I'm talking about. I'm joking. I would never do that. Boom. Chris Reeves. Umnumzaan. Just saying that thing is insane that I'm actually holding this knife in my hands. Just saying I've got a Chris Reeves Umnumzaan in my hand is insane to me. I cannot believe it. That's how blessed and fortunate I am. That is how blessed, fortunate, and lucky I am. I don't take it for granted. I appreciate it. I love it. It is, like I tell my boys, it is just a knife. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a knife. It's a tool. It's a cool one. It's a nice one. It's an expensive one. But at the end of the day, it's just a knife. That's it. So for me, it's more about what it represents. My life, where it was a short time ago, and where my life is right now. And if you saw those two, the swing, they talk about a pendulum swinging back and forth. I hope mine don't swing back the other way, because it swings so far this way. I can't believe how lucky and fortunate I am that I'm holding a Chris Reeves Umnumzaan. This is Tonto tip. Would I rather had a drop point? Yeah, but I don't care. This is just fine. I'll take either one and be happy. Oh my gosh, I don't care. I don't care. This thing is amazing. It's a hollow grind, Magna Cut blade, full titanium handles, frame lock. This is that frag pattern or pineapple pattern, whatever you want to call it. Frag pattern, titanium, dual thumb studs, made in America. Oh my gosh, it's got a lanyard. This thing is fantastic. Oh my gosh, this thing is awesome. The Chris Reeves Umnumzaan. Now this is a left-handed configuration. This is a left-handed version. They have right-handed versions and left-handed versions because the pocket clip and the frame lock you can't change. So this is a left-handed configuration. And it's fine with me because I'm left-handed. So it is what it is. I love this daggone knife. It's massive, it's gigantic, it's beautiful, it's quality, it's everything that I want in a knife. Everything that I want in a knife, it's right here. It could be a little bit more fidgety, but that's not what this knife is. This isn't a sideshow gimmicky knife with fidgety locks and stuff. Not saying that those things are sideshow gimmicks. I did just say that, but that's ultimately not what I meant. That's just not the selling point of this for that EDC stuff. This is a knife of intention. It does have good action, and the more you wear it in, just like this Chris Reeve Sebenza. When I first got it, it was a little tighter. It needed to be worn in, but now, that wasn't a good representation. But now, the action is great. And this is getting there as well. This is getting there as well. So the more I wear at this and work at this, the better it's going to get. But it's just not supposed to be a fidgety knife. It's supposed to be a knife of intention. You open it intentionally, you close it intentionally, and you use it efficiently, because this is a fantastic knife. This very well could have been at the top of the list because it's amazing. No question, this is my favorite, but that might be my best. Hold on, buddy. I'll be right there. Hold on. Okay, I'm coming. My job is never done, guys. Okay, so that was really, just a rundown of my best knives, my favorite knives, my favorite, not my best EDC, my favorite 10 knives with 3 honorable mentions, and I did show a couple more in there that, just for different reasons. But there you go, my 10 favorite knives. I hope you liked them. I hope you enjoy them. I hope that you have 10 knives that you're absolutely blessed and amazed by, and you're thankful for and grateful to have them. And if you only have 3 knives, be grateful and thankful for them, because don't despise small beginnings. Don't do it. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. All those old cliches. It is what it is. One day you'll have 3. The next day you can have 300. If that's what you want, and if that's what you set out to do, it is what it is. You have to put in the work and the time, and you can get there. I believe it. I know it because I'm living proof. But regardless, guys, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for all of my premium subscribers and premium members. Thank you to anybody that subscribes to my channel. All your kind words, I'm grateful for all of it. I'm Chris, the Unprofessional Dad. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. I've got more content coming. I've got a good video that I made earlier today that I'll be uploading in the morning. I can't wait to make more videos and to engage with you guys more, because that's what it's all about. I appreciate it. I wish all of you guys sharp knives and happy lives. I'll see you in the next one.